So I hope you guys have done the installation, right? So the practice in the SAP HANA installations. So same as like we have to go to the Linux server, then we can use the HDB LCM. So then we can do that one. So there is an option, one more option, HDB UNST. That is for the uninstallation. Suppose example, so if you want to uninstall anything, if you want to uninstall anything, you need to just click the HDB UNIST uninstallation, then which database you want to uninstall. Suppose I want to uninstall 0 means DDB, then just click on OK. Yes, then that will be uninstalled. That will be uninstalled. This way we can do the uninstallation as well. Uninstallation of the database also we can do the this one. So yeah, uninstallation. Sometimes you have to remove your existing version, or unfortunately you have so wrongly installed the SID. So your manager asked you to remove. Your manager asked you to remove the so install at that time. So you have to use this UNINST. So in every database server you have the file like so HDB server. In every database file you have the server like HDB. So HDB server file. Whenever you open the HDB server file, you will see the all these files you will see here, right? HDB LCM, HDB LCM GUI, HDB LCM web. You will see the all the files are available here. All the files are available here. So based on that, whatever the option based upon the scenario, you can choose it. Suppose installation, just you can just click the installation option, HDB /HDB LCM. Dot slash is very important. Without dot slash, you cannot execute any file. You cannot execute any file without dot slash, right? Two for install, I selected, right? So then select. So installation directory. So just you can see. So once again, just I'm repeating, just revising the installation topic. Okay, installation path same. So host name same. So do you want to add the host? No. So SID. So we can put like HDB. HDB we can put 00 group. Okay. So which system? Custom system. So do you want to enable nothing? Data volume location common. So log volume location common. So if you its answer also will be here. The inputs which we are supposed to give, that answer also will be in the bracket. So if you want to change it, you need to enter it. If you want to take the default, just you need to click the next button only, means enter button, then enter. So then you need to enter the passwords you have to enter it, right? Then passwords you have to those are the two users passwords we have to enter it. So what are the two users will be created during the so HANA installation? What are the two users will be created during the HANA installation? What are those? When you are doing the HANA installation, there are the two users will be created, right? What are those two users?
SID ADM.
Okay. One more. So system user. That is what we have given, right? So which means you are not practicing. You are not practiced even, right? Here we have given the system user, right? You can see here system user. It's a very important. I told you, right? It's a very important concept. So there are the users. Users will be created. Users will be created. So one is the SID ADM. Second one is the system user. These are the two users will be created. So SID ADM is for the OS level admin user. This is for the so DB level DB administrator user, DB level admin user. When we are connecting from so HANA Studio, first time we don't have any user, right? HANA Studio we don't have any user. So in that case, system user will be used. In this case, system user will be used for the so connection. System user will be used for the connections. So system user for the DB administration level user, and SADADM is for the OS level admin users. Okay, these users you should remember always. Okay. Okay, so see here, it is getting installed. It is getting installed. Okay, and database we can install it. But when you are installing the HANA 2.0, there are the two databases will be created by default. What are those two databases?
Tenant database.
Okay. One more.
And system database.
Yeah, system database and tenant databases. So they are the two users, two databases, same as like two databases will be created, system DB and tenant DB. And also you will get the few processes will be created. What are those few processes? There are the 6 core HANA core process will be created, right? What are those 6 or 7? 7 core process will be created, right? What are those HANA sub process? HANA core process.
Root.
No, root is the OS level user, right? Whenever you are installing the HANA database, there the services will be created. Whenever you are installed the SAP system, that time you will get the 7 work process, right? 5 plus 2, right?
Daemon.
Here also you will get the 7. What are those?
Daemon.
Okay.
Name process. Name server. Web processor.
Okay.
Index processor.
Okay.
Access engine.
Okay.
Web dispatcher.
Okay. Good. So yeah. So these are the services or process, HANA core process will be created during the installation. So all the database level work will be carried out by this process. Okay. So any work. So how in our home we have the family members, 7 family members, how we are carrying out our work, like father, mother, child, sons, all are how they are doing their work, major work in the home. Same as so here HANA process will be do the work, right? So what we assumed, HANA database is a one house, right? G+1 house, right? After that, if you have the amount, so then you can create the one more 10-day database, you can create it. But first by default, G+1 will be created. G means system DB plus 1 means so 10 DB will be created. That is the apartment concept, apartment style, right? So we have the independent style as well, but that is the HANA 1.0 independent style, right? So this is the HANA core process. So here the same 1.0 and 2.0 we have processes, 7 processes will be there, but here HANA, so we have HANA core process, we have first process is the HDB index server. Index server is the main server. Then HDB, so name server, HDB index server, name server. Okay, HDB will be HDB is the HANA database, right? That's why HDB is the prefix for all services. So preprocessor. Okay, then HDB. So web dispatcher. Then HDB, so access engine. Compile server. 7th one, HDB daemon. Okay, daemon. So these are the HANA core process in the, so each database, this process will be created. Each core process, this process will be created, right? So what are this core process? What is the advantage? What is their work? What exactly they? So if I talk about the dialog work process, what exactly the dialog work process will do? Dialog work process will process will take your user request and will process, updating the records, right? Like that, it will start. Like that, it will start, right? Like that, it will start. So it will start. So it will start working the data and everything, right? It will start working. But here also, what is the use of this process, HANA process? Here, name server, name server, name server. What is the use of the name server here? What is the use of the name server here? So what is the use of the name server here? Name server, so name server, sorry, index server. So index server is it is index server and access engine. Both are available in the tenant database, right? Remaining 5 are in the system database. Same as like if we have whenever you do the installation of the SAP, two instances will be created, right? So one is the ASCS instance, then second one is the application server instance. In the ASCS instance, you have the message server and NQ server. In the application server instance, you have the remaining 5 will be available. Same as like here in the tenant DB, you have so index server and access engine are available. Okay. So guys, it's a very important concept actually. So they may ask you this basic questions interview panel. So I attended multiple interviews during that time. So they asked this type of silly questions. So where the index server is available. These are the basics they will ask you. Okay. You should remember all these things. Okay. So index server. Index server is the main process in the database. It's the father of the database. Okay. So how in our home, father is very important, right? Father will take all the loads. If you take one example like father, mother, so childs, so like that. So in our home we have the family, right? In the database home also these are the family members, right? So in a family, how father will take the burdens, loads, calculations, earnings, right? Storing everything he will perform it, right? So he is the major, he is the father of the house. We will call it as the father, right? Same as like in the index server also father. Why I call it as the father means index server, all the data loads, okay, data loads, calculations, okay, all the data loads, calculations, engines, so query engines, so everything available in so an index server. So all the data loads, calculations, engines, query engine, so all that everything is available in the index server. So that's why, so index server is the very important, which means whatever the data is coming to the database, where it will stores, it stores in index server only. It stores in index server. Why? Because index server is the main process here. Index server is the main process here. So all the data residing, all the data loads, loading the data, storing the data, calculations, engines to convert your queries. So all these things are happens in the index server, right? So what about the remaining process? Only index server is doing everything. What about the remaining process? Remaining process will help to the father. Father means index server will help to. What about to our team? Our team, like, so in our family, we have father, mother, child, sons, etc. Right? But father will do everything. What we are doing here? Then we are helping in home. We are helping to the father, right? We are helping to the father. Same as like here, name server also will helping to the index server, preprocessor also, web dispatcher, access engine, compile server, daemon. All these process are helping to the all these process are helping to the so index server. Why? Because index server is the main process here. All the data loads. Loads means table, data loads, tables, everything will happen in the index server only. Everything will happen in the index server only. So that's the reason. So everything will happen in the index server only. Index server only. Okay. So he is the father of the home. Okay, main process. The index server is down, all applications, everything will be disconnected. Data loads will not happen, right? Data loading will not happen. Fetching, loads, calculations, everything will not happen. So application will directly connect to the index server only. All our HANA Studio connections will directly connect to the index server only, not other process. What other process will do means other process will help to the so index server. Other process will help to the index server, right? So this is the This is the index server responsibility. Okay. Data loads, calculations, data loading the data from application to database level. So this index server will help. Okay. Loading the data from, so here, and calculations, query engines, everything index server under control, everything will happen under the index control. Okay, it is available in, it is available, it's available in the, it is in the tenant db only, every tenant db we have the one unique index server is available. Okay, so that's why tenant db is very important here, not the system db. System db, there is no business data, we already discussed, but we have tenant db, we have the business data. And why we have all the business data will happen in the tenant db only means, here he have index server, because of the index server is available, but index server responsibility is data loads and everything. So that's why every application will connect to the one tenant database only, not the system databases. Okay, system database is only one. Tenants we can install, multiple tenants we can install it. Okay, so that is the one. So what about that name server? Name server to holds the, topology related information. Topology related information. Topology means what is your host name, SID, instance number. So it is this type of technical naming conventions, it will holds it name server. So name server work is very small. Just it will holds the topology related information. Topology related information. Topology related information means, so here host name, SID, instance number. How much is the SID instance number for? So this HANA instance related information, it will keep it. It will holds it, right? This is the name server related information, right? Name server will do this type of work. It is available in the, but it is in the system DB. System DB it is available, right? Next one is the preprocessor. Preprocessor means, so here this responsibility of the preprocessor is processing the, processing the unstructured data, processing the unstructured data, processing the unstructured data, processing the unstructured data, and it will help to the, it will help to the index server. Same. So the name server also will help to the index server. Same. This will also will help to the index server, right? So same name server also will help to the index server. So what is the use of the preprocessor? The name itself we have pre plus processor. Preprocessor means processing the unstructured data, and it will help to the index server. So in the database level, if any data is coming to the, if any data that is in the, not in the structured format, not in the coding format, so that preprocessor will convert that to structured format, will help to the index server to store the data, right? So as I told earlier, every process will help to the, every process will help to the, so index server, every process here. Name server also, it will topology related, it will holds the topology related information. Then, so then it will help to the index server to getting the host name, SID, index server. So that's why name server is also very important for the system DB. And tenant DB, we have the two masters here. Index server. Index server is the master in tenant DB. Name server is the master in the tenant system DB. Okay, system DB. Why? Because so it's the major one. Like topology related information, it will holds it. Okay, the technical word is the topology. So, but topology means what? Host name, SID, instance number. This all are called the topology related information. Good. So then next one is the preprocessor. Preprocessor means processing the unstructured data. Processing the unstructured data. Suppose sometimes what happens, the data will come to the, so normally the HANA written in C++ language. So the data comes into the, suppose structured format. Unstructured format means notepad. Suppose Data sometimes will come to the our system with unstructured format. Suppose there is no format, there is no coding, open bracket, close brackets, this different style, unstructured format. So, but this preprocessor, what the preprocessor will do, the preprocessor will help, the preprocessor will convert that, process that unstructured data, and will help to the index server to store the data. Why? Because data storing, all the tables data, all the data, business data, tables data, analytical data, everything will be available in index server. Index server. So data storage happens in the index server only in the database level. Okay. So preprocessor processing the unstructured data. Okay. Web dispatcher. So normally applications will connect through port, or we will connect through. So we will, how we are connecting through HANA Studio. We will just open the HANA Studio. Through HANA Studio, we will connect to the so index server directly, right? So through HANA Studio, we will connect to the index server. Through ports, we will connect to the HANA Studio. Applications will connect to the HANA Studio. So not HANA Studio, SAP HANA database will connect it, right? That is what happened. Database will store the data in the form of columns and rows. But columns, HANA is right, it's only columns. It will store the business data in the columnar format, right? So, but it should always connect to the database. Applications will always connect to the database. So then if database is down, all applications will be disconnected. Why? Because there is a dependency. So that is the reason applications will connect to the database, and we also will directly connect to the database. We means as a basis consultant or developers, we will connect to the database using the HANA Studio or some other third-party tools. So few people they will use the browser. Few people they will use the browser to connect to the so index server, to connect to the HANA database, especially for the HANA database. So that time here web dispatcher, web dispatcher, web means browser, right? Dispatcher, dispatching the request, web dispatcher, which browser based requests, with the requests which are the browser based are coming from browser, it will process the browser based request, will hand over to access engine. Access engine will process the, so which means dispatcher will take the browser based request. Browser means HTTP or HTTPS request, it will process, right? HTTP or HTTP request will process, will take the browser based request and will hand over to access engine. So access engine will process, access engine will process the, so the browser based request, the validation, everything will happen. Then browser based will process the browser based request, and it will help to the index server to process their data, right? Data are finally available in the index server, but how the user is connecting? Through browser. Then the browser, the users will open through browser, then they will open it. In this case, immediately web dispatcher will take the browser based request and will give to the access engine. In the access engine we have, it will validate the all the users passwords, it will validate it. Then it will help to, it will give to the index server to store the data. It will give to the index server to store the data. That will happen in the, access engine. Access engine is the work, that is the work of the access engine, right? That is the work of the access engine. Okay, will process the browser based request. All browser based requests will process by access engine, right? That is the use of the access engine. So compile server will use, compile server work is, what is the work of the compile server means? So compilation of the programs, and stored procedures, compilation of the programs and stored procedures, and will help to the index server to process the all the programs and everything, right? So each process there is a one responsibility. How we have BTC for the background jobs, dialog workers for the handling the user request, updating the records, spool for printer purpose. How each process will have their own work style, right? Own responsibility. Same here also we have same here also we have. So index server will handle the data loads, calculations, engine, query engine, everything. And a name server will holds the topology related information and everything, post name, SID, so all these things, right? So pre-processor processing the unstructured data, and it will help to the index server, right? Processing the unstructured data. And a web dispatcher will take the browser based request. So high level. So in the access engine will process the requests which are coming from browser, then will hand over to the index server. Then compile server, compilation of the foregrounds and stored procedures. So these are the responsibilities. What about the daemon? Daemon is the very important process. It's like a mother in our home. So suppose we will call index server is the father, the remaining all are the childs and sons, right? We will call it as this one. Why? Because this all are will help to the so index server, right? Name server also will help to the index server, preprocessor, access engine, web dispatcher, compile server, everything will help to the index server only, right? So this is available. Access engine is available in the tenant DB. Then this is available in the system DB. It is running on the system DB. This is also in the system DB. This is also in the system DB. So this is also in the system DB. Okay. 5 processes are in the system DB. Remaining two are in which one? Where? In the tenant DB. Remaining two are in the tenant database. It is available. Right? You got it right? So here each process has their own responsibility. Right? That is what we discussed. Okay, you got it right. And also we discussed one more thing is father and mother and family concept, kind of. So bottom line, family concept. Family means in one family we have father, mother, childs, everyone is available, right? So father in home database we will call it as the home, right? House. In our house we have, so family, one family can stay. Same here also, one family can stay. In one family means, so who are there in the family? Father, mother. Here also in the database is the home. In the database one family will stay. Family means database process will be stay. So here database process means who is the father here? Index server is the father. Why? Because all the burdens, loads, calculations, everything will hold by so index server. Same, that's why we will call it as the index server is the father. The name server is the so either son or daughter, right? It stores the topology related information. Preprocessor also son, web dispatcher, access engine, all are sons. Then who is the mother here? So daemon is the mother here, right? Daemon is the mother. So what our mother will do? So mother, suppose if any one of the childs, including father, are in the sick, are in the sick, are trying to stop, or is going to sick, or so the daemon will go and so will restart the service, will go and start the service, which means so if any process out of this 6 process, one of the processes stopped, one of the processes stopped due to some issues, immediately daemon will go and start that process, will try to start that process, will try to start that process. Why? Because so daemon is the father. So same as like in our home, any one of the kid, like either father or any other childs or daughters, sons, whatever. So are down with fever or sick with fever, immediately what this mother will do? Mother will go to mother will give some boost or bonavita, some medicine to so their sons or childs. Then it will try, the main aim is that the diamond is mother is to try to become active. It will try to recover the service to the active status, right? So active means running status. So same as like here, any one of the process is stopped or error status, it will go and retry. It will go and start the service. It will go try to start the service. That is the responsibility of the daemon process. Daemon process responsibility, right? It will if any process. So if I write over, so if any process is stopped, then daemon will go and try to make it active or running status or running status. That is the work we will do. Same as like mother, right? Mother also will do the same, right? So index server. So name server preprocessor. So in the system DB, the master, who is the master in the system DB? The main process in the system DB. Who is the main process in the system DB? So names, this is the one of the interview questions, man. So they will ask you, who is the main process? Name server is the main process in the system DB. Who is the main process in the tenant database? Master. Who is the master
Index.
process in the index server? Okay, here IN India, right? You will call it as the India or country code IN. I means index server, N means name server. India, I available in the tenant DB. Each tenant I is available. So N name server. Each system DB one name server is available here. That is what we will call, right? You got it right? You understand what is the use of the each and every process? Okay. Okay, so let's try to connect to now HANA Studio. Any questions here in this concept? We have in this concept any questions here? Okay, let me open HANA Studio. So I'm opening the HANA Studio here. See here, we have connected system DB, tenant DB, right? So those databases are still available in here, right? Those databases are still available in the in the HANA Studio. So why we are using HANA Studio means to connect to the to monitor, to do the administration part of the our databases. Our databases we will use it here, right? Just you can just double click it, or you can open the administration page, then you will get the administration page will be opened here. Or same as like your tenants, as you can also connect to the tenant database as well. You can also connect to the your tenant database also will be connected here. Okay, so these are the here. So one more thing, let me write it here at least. Okay, so tenant DB is available in okay, let me try. Okay, this is our database. We will call it as this is our database, right? In the database, so we have whenever you do the HANA 2.0 1G and +1 will be installed, right? +1 will be installed. In ground floor, only one, which means we have name server, preprocessor, compile server, and web dispatcher. Then, so what next? Web dispatcher and daemon. So these are the process will be in the system DB, and remaining process means so index server and access engine are available in the remaining server or access engine available in the tenant DB, tenant one. Okay, tenant DB. Okay, tenant DB it is available. So one more tenant, if you create the one more, there is a situation to create one more tenant. Then on top of the this one, we can create the one more tenant. So again, one more tenant we can create it like that up to 19 tenants. By default one, up to 19 tenants. with including default one, 19 plus 1, 20 tenants we can create it on one host in 150 square yards, 20 floors you can build it, 20 floors you can build it, right? 20 floors you can build it. So here also you can build the, so 19 you can build it. That is what, so tenant DB will do here, tenant databases, right? That is the, so concept of the tenant databases. So TenantDB, n number of tenant databases, but systemdb is only one. So in one apartment, if you go apartment, owner is only one, but tenants multiple, right? But the owner will, what owner will control the all the tenant databases. Owner will control the all the tenants. He will control it, right? Why? Because so he is the owner of that building. So same here also, systemdb is the main database here. It will control the all the tenant database and everything. Suppose if you want to restart, if you restart the system DB, then immediately all the tenants also will be restarted. Why? Because you are restarting the ground floor, then remaining floors will be also will be collapsed, will be restarted. So that's why if you want to restart the only the specific tenant, we have to use the commands that we will discuss. But here we can just see, we can also do the restart, start, stop, restart of the tenant database, or the voice level commands we can use it. That is the commands we discussed. So those are the commands we can discuss, right? So here you can see here, so systemdb and tenantdb, each database we have a, so the process is common, the tabs are common. If you add multiple databases, so the process, the procedure, the concept, that everything is common, right? This is the our first page, the first tab of the administration, which we discussed in the last class, overview page. In the overview page, you can see here, so the status of the all the services. Then this is the refresh button. Then so all the services are started. The status of the usage system usage. Then so HANA, when you restarted, when you started today morning itself, right? What is the version of the HANA database here? So what is the build time, Linux kernel version? So all this information is available. HANA memory areas we have here. HANA, so used memory, resident memory, CPU usage, disk usage. Disk means OS level file system. So /na data, /na log, /na shade, all these three available here, right? Then database, CPUs, all this information is available in the first page, that is called the overview page. So sometimes they may ask you questions like, so where can I check the version of the HANA database? So in the overview page of the HANA Studio, we can check it out. So there, where can I check the memory usage statistics? Here you can check the memory usage and the statistics. This is called the overview page here, right? So then, okay. So the next tab we have landscape tab. In the landscape tab, we can see the status of the all the services, all the process, compile server, daemon, index server, name server, preprocessor, web dispatcher, access engine. We have 7 process, all the 7 process related. What is the host name? What is the status like active? What is the port number for each and every service? And when it is started, what is the usage of the CPU? What is the usage of the memory? Why? Because I already discussed, right? So for us, food and water, how it is important. Same as like this process also, the CPU and memory are very important here. So that's why here we will track all this process related. So usage, we will track it here. How much memory, how much CPU it is gaining. It's a live utilization. Just if we click on the refresh button, it will fluctuate the numbers and everything. It will fluctuate it, right? It will fluctuate it. So it will change it then real time itself. So used memory. This is here graphically it is showed, but here the values, how much values here. So used memory, all the information we can see here, all the information we can see it here, right? So that is the landscape tab. In the landscape tab we can see the all the services status. If the any one of the service is not working here, it says that service is not connected and not started, then you can come to the here, you can see the status, which service is not connected, not started. So that information we can see from here in the, so in the landscape tab, we can see it here. In the landscape tab, we can see it here. This is the landscape tab, right? Got it? All the information we can see it here. So if you same service you can see here, go to the landscape tab, you will also see the same process, but here we have only 5. Why? Because it's a system DB. In system DB we have only 5 process, right? Web dispatcher, preprocessor, name server, daemon, and compile server. Where is the access engine? Where is the index server? Where it is available? It is available in the tenant DB. It is available in the tenant DB, but all this process comes from system DB only. In the display, it will also show from, in the display, it will show all the process will be showed here. But the reality in the back end, but the 5 process will running on the system DB, remaining 2 all are here. Then how can we say, sir? How can we say this all process access engine like web dispatcher, preprocessor, name server also, is the 2 name servers are available? No, only 1, which is available in the system DB only. How can we say, like here you can see the ID, the port 3 instance number 01, and also the process ID 345646. If you go to the system DB, here also you can have 6456 and 3001. Okay, same process only, but here it will show in the tenant DB in the listing, it will show here, but it's not like that. Here also these are the set of process running here. That's not like that. So in the tenant database also we have the 7 process running. It's not like that. In the tenant database we have only one is the index server and access engine. So remaining 5 are comes from where it's derived from, where it is coming from. Just in the listing it is showing from the system DB. System DB it is showing. In the system DB you have master. System DB who is the master, and name server. In the tenant DB who is the master, in the index server. That is what very important here. Okay, that is what very important. Master who is the main process, index server and a name server. Okay, this is what we can see in the landscape tab. What things we can see in the landscape tab? We can see the status of the services, process ID, everything we can see in the landscape tab. In the landscape tab, we can see here. The next one is for the alerts tab. Alerts means, so alerts, the system is having some trouble, issues. So that time that alerts, the errors it will show here. That is called the alerts. So suppose in your mobile phone, you have some high CPU utilization, you have got some emails, something like that, you got it, then it will show in the task panel or control panel, it will show the display, right? Like you have 2 messages, 2 WhatsApp messages in the display, it will show, right? Here also. So if your system, your HANA system having some trouble, some issues, some errors, then immediately that results will show in the HANA here in the alerts tab. Critical alerts which will show. We can see here the current alerts, then all alerts, all means, so all the days like last 15 minutes, last 30 minutes. So last 30 minutes, you can see the, so 2 alerts, last 30 minutes. You can see here, system runs out of the CPU resource. So CPU consumption is very high. CPU consumption is very high. CPU, it's all our medium priority alerts. So medium, low priority. Low priority means we can somewhat we can ignore it. But here is very high priority, ignore. So it's 640. Then remain after that it's decreased. CPU, right? Sometimes it will fluctuate, sometimes it will down. So, but there is no backup also. It's saying that backup does not exist. We need to take the backup as well. So then what is the status of the remaining process? So like that, so we can see here, like that, we can see the status here. So last 2 hours, what is the status? Yesterday, what is the status? Today, what is the status? Like that, we can see the status of the each and every hour. We can see how many alerts are got generated in the last 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour. So the alerts we can calculate, we can see in the alerts tab. So here we can come to the manually, we can see it here. We can see the, so alerts here, right? This is the alerts tab. Okay, overview tab, landscape tab, and A for alert, OLA. So voila, right? Voila. So voila, you can remember, right? Voila auto, voila bikes. Same as like you can remember voila. So overview, landscape, alerts tab. In the overview tab, we can just see the overview of the all the database statistics. So it kind of just simple example, summary page or index page. So when you purchase one book, in the first page we have the summary page, right? Which means index page. We have 10 units. The first unit will be in the this this page to this page. Second unit will be in the this page to, like that. The everything will be displayed, right? Like that it will be displayed, right? Same as like that it will be displayed. Same as like in the overview pages, it's the overview. Overview means so all the services overview, memory, version. So everything is green under the control. You can see everything is in the green control. CPU is also very green. So which means so overview is okay. Then go to the landscape for detailed information. Landscape tab, all services are starting. As part of the day-to-day activity, we need to check this one. Then alerts. Alerts means so errors. Are there any critical errors in the last 24 hours? Or last 1 hour, we can check it out from here. So we check here, are there any critical here? So here nothing critical, here nothing critical. So then we can ignore it as part of the day-to-day monitoring. Okay, so then performance volumes, we have the tabs are there. For today, these three are enough you to practice it, right? Just you can connect to the HANA Studio. You know, right, how to add the systems to HANA Studio. You know, right? So just you can just go to the here in HANA Studio, just click on the add symbol, then you will get the host name and instance number is the 00. Host name is SAP Linux. Then it's a 2.0. Add the multi-container, add the system DB and one tenant DB. You can add it. So then you can use the HANA database, right? This is the way you have to add it. That is what we discussed in the last class. Today we discussed about three tabs. We discussed three administration tabs: alerts tab, landscape tab, and overview tab. So tomorrow we'll discuss three more tabs. Performance, it's a very important tab, and the configuration tab, it's a very important tab. This is also. Then we'll discuss remaining systems, diagnosis files, so trace files, all these things will come one by one. Then after that, next. So like that. Okay, start preparing it. So practicing it, it's very important, guys. Once again, I'm repeating, all these administration tabs are very important, especially HANA is very important nowadays. So why? Because HANA nowadays, all customers are moving to the HANA, they are using the basis team responsibility for the HANA. So definitely they may ask you basic questions only. System DB, tenant DB, what is the difference between the multi-container, single container, HANA 1.0, 2.0. So it's a basic one. It's a very important. Okay. You need to catch the all the points and you need to remember. Okay. So you guys will prepare, right? So all these three tabs, whatever we discussed, three tabs, you guys will prepare, right? Okay.
Yes,
So,
sir.
yeah, prepare it. Tomorrow we'll focus on the remaining three tabs. Okay.